Eutychus, one of my favorite stories in Acts. For those of y'all that may not be familiar, Eutychus is the best story to use if you're a youth pastor, because it's the story about the young man that fell asleep in church and died. Paul's preaching. Eutychus goes to church that night, listen to Paul. Paul preaches into the night, and he falls out a third-story window and lands on his neck. If you can imagine, if you fall 30 feet, it's not going to be pretty, is it? But what did the people in the box do? They go look out the window. Wow, Eutychus is so dumb. How are you going to fall asleep in church? You got Paul preaching, the best preacher, wrote most of the New Testament, and he fell asleep. But what does Paul do? Does Paul go to the window and look out? Is Paul sitting in his box to find out what's going on? No, Paul realizes that at some point when we're carrying the presence of God, we've got to leave the box that we're in, come down the stairs, get out of the box, go into the street where it's going to be messy, because the last thing Eutychus needed was a sermon about why you should not fall asleep in a window. He did not need that. Or if you fall 30 feet, that you will die. Eutychus did not need to hear that. At this point, what Eutychus needed was the presence of God from somebody laying over him and praying. And Paul goes, gets down on his knees, lays prostrate over the young man, prays for him, and tells him to get up. Eutychus didn't need a 5-point sermon. He knew he had messed up. His neck was broken. He was dead. But it's that one encounter. Is Paul seeing that what this man needs is not somebody looking out the window telling him everything that's wrong with him, but he needs somebody to go into the streets, get down on his level, and pray for him and cover him in prayer and cover him in the presence of God. So at some point, if we're going to be a church for the city, we've got to get outside of this box. And we've got to get into the middle, and we've got to cover that gap with the presence of God.